Mamayev against Yangyi Pomyashi does incredible pairings and fantastic action.
And we have liftoff. Magnus with white decided to go with e4 pretty much all the way, with some exceptions in this rapid and blitz. We've seen him have different approaches over the years, playing some London systems or whatever.
Wow!
And h3 against a Petroff. Why did
Novelty.
you tell us, Magnus, all these World Championship matches we were looking for ways against the Petroff, and he never told us about h3.
Wow, he kept it in the pocket for the right time, and the time has come against Yangyi.
Okay, he's just trying to get out of the book here as quickly as possible. Yangyi does not look impressed. Puts the knight on d6, I'm sure. Could have gone to f6 as well.
Yeah, it's
see
a
if Magnus
bit strange.
To generate the game.
Yeah, and Magnus slowed down. He clearly is surprised, and he challenges that knight on d6 with c4. It's a very thematic, typical idea.
Now Yangyi has a decision. Do you take? Do you go bishop e6? What do you do?
Yeah, it's not easy. I'm not happy with this knight d6 choice at all. Provoking white.
So much easier, no?
Yeah, then you know your next move. Bishop e7, short castle, so on. Yeah. He sacrifices the pawn on d5. He goes bishop e7.
Take it. cd, knight c3. Looks a bit like these Petroff positions where black gives that pawn, but it looks like a good version for white. Just keeping that pawn for now. Knight on d6 is stupid.
Why not? Yeah, takes, knight c3, eventually d4, bishop f4, bishop e2, short castle. All the moves will be played automatically.
Yeah. That's how easy it is. You play h3, then you take the d5 pawn, you take it, and you win against the Petroff.
Wow. Okay, it also shows that the players are very tired, so coming up with some surprise, getting your opponent out of his balance, his comfort zone. But Yangyi is fighting, he's going for b5, clearly aiming for bishop b7, eventually a5, b4, hitting that d5 pawn.
Yeah, but white plays d4, also asking the b5 pawn about its intentions, so you get to go a6, stopping his counterplay on the queen side. I don't like any of this. Bishop d3, I guess he wants knight d7, knight b6, but it looks very
yeah, but surprisingly, Magnus played bishop e2. I was also thinking bishop d3, but knight e5, bishop f3, that's his idea.
Also logical, yeah.
Yes, that's the setup Magnus has in mind, reinforcing the d5 extra pawn, the c6 square is there. Unbelievable. I have
everything. Knight
bishop
b6,
f6.
Bishop I played bishop f6, all right.
He played bishop f6. I was wondering that did white ever have such a good position against the Petroff in 10 moves?
I don't recall. Wow. Very hard to get. We should not ask Richard Rapport. Bishop f6 played. What do you do? Bishop f4?
Bishop f4, clearly black will keep on hitting that knight on e5 with rook e8. You cannot tolerate the knight. And if knight c6 played, which is tempting... Yeah, but I'm not sure you really want to jump immediately. Magnus is also taking his time. He would love to keep the tension.
First big thing by the world champion. Falls behind on the clock. Things were looking easy, but Yangyi is a tough customer. Not gonna go down without a fight.
Yeah, after all, he has some harmony in his pieces. Yeah, white is pawn up. We don't really understand why Yangyi has really sacrificed that pawn. Why is Magnus taking so much of his time?
Yeah, go bishop f4, see what happens.
Yeah, but something he dislikes. Is it somewhere like queen e8 and against knight c6, then going knight b6, eventually setting up some knight takes d5 trick? Okay, knight c6 on the board.
He goes knight c6 directly, all right.
Another big question, do you go queen e8 and try to set up that tactics that I've been mentioning, targeting the c6 knight? Or do you go queen c8, but that looks way too passive? Or you just eliminate it immediately?
The problem is with queen e8, and then you try to target it. You can never take twice on c6, because bishop f3 will be there. So Yangyi does take directly. Goes knight b6, still pawn down, but he has some jumps, knight to f5.
Yeah, targeting, opening up the... Look at this, now he can regain the pawn by taking on c3 and then capturing on d5.
Yeah, he should.
Wow, so why did Magnus really let this happen? Takes, queen takes d5, doesn't look so bad for black at all.
No. And it's on the board.
But
So
why
the
with the
bishops-
knight? But why with the knight? I'm very surprised. Queen takes d5 was
Queen
so
d5
much
was
more
much
tempting.
cleaner. Agreed. And yeah, the engine agrees too. Says knight takes d5 X.
Yeah, but okay. How do you protect the pawn? Queen c2 will be met by queen f6. Probably that's what. But queen d3.
Queen
Somehow
d3.
queen d3
Hit all the
is the
knights.
move. Exactly. That's the problem.
Magnus thinking. Oh no, he's gone bishop to f3, it looks like. Doesn't try to defend the pawn.
Wow, he can really do this. Yeah, he's trying to. Wow, knight takes c3, queen c2, and then it's double attack. Queen f6, bishop b2 with the pin. Magnus would have won a piece. That was fantastic.
So Yangyi goes back. Now what's going on? White has the bishops, slightly shaky pawn structure, but nice bishops.
Yeah, this is horrible position for black. The pawn on c7 is very strong. The pawn on c6 is a monster. I'm expecting some queen d4, rook d1, putting the pressure. No, Magnus takes.
Going for the end game. Black's take with the queen. C takes either c7. So queen takes, and he will want to capture.
Yeah, rook f d1, but there is a big drawish potential in the position with knight c4, rook c8 targeting that c6 pawn. Is Magnus really believing that? Okay, Yangyi is down to 20 seconds. That's the problem.
Magnus is believing.
Rook a d8. Yeah, making sure that the knight is still controlling the a4 break.
Yeah. It looks like he's let it get away, but no. Now black has d5, rook d6 ideas as well. How do you keep pressure?
Yeah, rook
d4,
d4, d5, a4.
If knight takes, what's the point?
Then c4.
Ah,
and bishop
c4.
And rook d1.
Beautiful. Rook d1, he tricked him.
Rook
Did he
d1, rook
trick him?
d8,
Yeah,
but
rook d1, rook d8, and it's over, no?
knight b6. Okay, knight b6, but then rook b8. Probably that will be the key. Is it really working?
Or yeah, he just goes bishop b7. Then if knight b6, he has rook a6. So Yangyi tries to run with his pawn. c3. I can't count. c8 doesn't look like black is fast enough, no? No.
Yeah, not at all. With the bishop and the rook combo, white bishop is coming back. Okay, b4, only chance. Does this work?
I don't know. Still asking some questions. Rook takes a4, c2. Rook a1, b3. So he can't take. He goes bishop f5. Knight c5, but now rook a5 he's in time, yeah?
Yeah, it should be over.
Yeah.
Also, black has a problem with the back rank as well.
Yes. This is it. g6, he takes, and the rook is in time to be joined by the king, stopping all the pawns.